Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Oscar Verse. Over here, joined by Thomas as always, and it is time for some supporting actor and supporting actress predictions. We're doing this one, and then we're doing direction right afterwards. If you haven't seen them already, we did Best Picture and are the two lead acting categories. It's early predictions. It's a fun time. You can go watch the other two videos. You can stick with this one. Have some fun. We're going to do top 15 for supporting actor, supporting actress.
Yep, and importantly, these ones are always wild. They always end up like completely unexpected. We never know really what the supporting ones. Like lead actor and actress, you can sort of get gauge. Okay, if this film's going to be big, then maybe the lead actor comes up with it. Supporting, completely different bag. These are probably all going to be wrong by the end of it. So let's just have fun with them.
And category placement, we're doing our best to guess, but who knows?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to start out with supporting actor. And number one, we have John Magaro for Past Lives. I'm not seeing anybody do this. But I've heard it's like a very, very nice kind of emotional performance. And he works very, very well to support the two leads. And he kind of makes people cry alongside the two leads. Like the two leads are like the big emotional swings, but he's working everything like really, really well. And also we have this winning Best Picture. Yes. And I think this is the most likely acting win to go along with it. John Magaro has been kind of working under the surface in the industry for a while. He's never hasn't had like a big thing, but he's worked with a fair amount of people, and I think he's generally well liked. I could see a big campaign mounting behind him.
Yeah, and if you look at the previous two winners, they were both first-time nominees, and they both also sort of fit that role of bringing the film together. Like Kei Kwan sort of brings everything everywhere together. Troy Kotzer as well, I would argue, brings Coda together. So it's sort of the role fits. The type of actor they've been going for recently fits, and if Past Lives is as big as we're expecting, why not?
Yeah. It's that same type of role that I think is going to be really kind of drawing that emotional core of the film.
100%.
All right, next, Ryan Gosling in Barbie. Okay.
Yeah, people are doing this for the win. I don't see it personally.
I know about a win, but I could see it personally. Okay. People are saying career best. Career best.
Which I don't think is that hard, because I don't think Ryan Gosling's a great actor. But anyway, that's beside the point. I know heartbreaking many fans. It's a hot take, but he's just okay as an actor. If this is his career best, sure, why not? I think he will probably get the nom, especially if Barbie's as big as we're expecting. He's a big name. All of that kind of stuff. He'll probably have a big role. I mean, he's playing Ken in the Barbie movie. Like, it's probably going to be a juicy role.
It's going to be, He's going to be doing a lot. It's going to be a very big role. He's going to be like very expressive. It's going to be lots of big emotions.
He'll have a lot to do. Yeah.
Lots of physical acting. Like I could see him. Yeah. Like, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens with like the Globes, because I could see them actually putting him like lead for the Globes and maybe even being a win contender. It could be interesting. Because like, what do we have for comedy actor right now? What do we have?
Well, like Timothy Chalamet.
Right. So like, that's what I'm saying. I feel like they could maybe try to push him even like lead for the Globes, but I feel like from what I've heard he is supporting at least for the Oscars. But yeah, I think it'll just be a big role, fun role. Why not? Number 3, we got Jesse Plemons, Killers of the Flower Moon. He's in the club now with Power of the Dog, picking up maybe a bit of an unexpected nomination even.
I don't know how he got that on, but fair play to him. It was a worthy nom, and he does seem to be in the club. This is again like Martin Scorsese, he gets actors in. This is going to be a big film. Like, just why would you bet against it at this point? The film could flop, of course, but I don't know. It's going to be a big role, especially since there was debates around whether he would be the lead. Like, there was a lot of before we really knew the real details of the film. It's like, oh, is he going to be the lead or is Leo the lead? Yeah, so he's going to have a lot to do. He's already in the club. Makes sense of nomination. The film's going to be big. Tick, tick, tick.
Film.
Cool.
Yeah. Even if DiCaprio misses lead or whatever, like Scorsese movies, like they at least get supporting. Yeah. So yeah, no, I think that he's gonna be doing a lot. Should be a fun role for him, meaty role. Number 4, Jeremy Allen White in The Iron Claw. So every single year there's a movie that gets a lone supporting nomination. This last year it was Causeway. Okay, it happens not every single year, but like look back, it's happened. It's been happening for a while. A movie gets a lone supporting nomination. And I think this will be it. It kind of fits the bill. He's kind of having his moment right now. He's having The Bear. I think he's going to win an Emmy for it. People really like him. He's a massive rising star in the industry. I think A24 will be able to push this. It's a Sean Durkin film, which hasn't done like the most amazing at the Oscars in the prior. But It's gonna be a big role. It's gonna be a big physical role. He's playing a wrestler in it. So there's gonna be some shouting, some crying, some drug use,
Yeah.
and then some like big physical wrestling moments. I don't know. I feel like this could just kind of be his moment, and I think this could be the right film for him at the right time.
Yeah, it's A24. They did very well with acting categories. I mean, obviously they won all four,
All
so
four.
like it's not too unexpected to be predicting these sort of more out there A24 performances. And Jeremy Allen White, as you said, he's got the momentum. He's really sort of quite new onto the industry. I don't know how much he did smaller stuff previously, but in terms of in the public consciousness, he's only just sort of broken on, and that is a perfect time to be in a role like this and get your first Oscar nomination. And yeah, it just feels like the sort of surprise fifth thing that happens, a slightly more subdued role, one that maybe not everyone's seen, but the people who have seen it are really passionate about it. That's what this pick feels like to me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is also probably the least filled of the acting categories, I think, right now.
100%, I'd agree.
There aren't a bunch of like very obvious choices to go with here. So you got to get a little bit creative, and I think that he kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of, number 5, Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon. So this is where we have the double supporting nom. We aren't doing one supporting actress.
No.
We're going for it here. There's typically always one, sometimes two. I don't love this happening. I'm not convinced of it, but he's stronger than the other options.
Exactly. I think he is favored by the fact that this category is weak. And if we do want a double nom, it's probably going to come from this category. And then we look at, okay, well, who in this category? Well, it's probably just going to be the Killer of the Flower Moon. Like, it just makes sense as this final nomination. He's a veteran actor, obviously all the things, Scorsese film, all the things you mentioned with Clemens, plus the fact it's Robert De Niro. So, like, yeah, this makes sense.
I mean, yeah, the concern thing is also like he missed for The Irishman, Scorsese's last film. They got a ridiculous amount of nominations. 2 other supporting actors happened, and we'll see. Maybe that's Lily Gladstone and Jesse Plemons.
Potentially, there could also be a narrative vote. Oh, he didn't get nominated for The Irishman. Okay, we'll do him again here.
Yes, but
like I don't know. I think just because he missed in one place doesn't. It's not out of a lack of love for his performance and him as a act. Like that's just not the case. So I don't think we should read too much into that, really.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to do with this last slot, so it just kind of feels arbitrarily. We'll just go with De Niro for now.
It's a safe bet. It's a safe bet.
I'm on the lookout for other options.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so number 6 and number 7. We have Coleman Domingo and Corey Hawkins for The Color Purple. We have got Domingo at 6, Hawkins at 7. And like we'll see. The actresses have the meatier roles in this film. Those are the ones that did better at the Tonys, all these things. I could see
got nominated originally,
the original, so like I could see there being a big push behind Coleman Domingo. He could potentially, Scarlett Johansson, she was the last person to do it, get both a lead and supporting nomination in the same year. That was for Marriage Story and Joe Rabbit. We'll see if maybe Domingo can do it with Rustin, and then for The Color Purple here. I could see that happening if there's like a big narrative push behind him. Corey Hawkins has been kind of like the come up for a while. I mean, he was in Straight Outta Compton, which did very well at the Oscars. And then he was in The Heights and Tragedy of Macbeth, which he was like high on Gold Derby for like a little bit for supporting actor for those two.
Yeah, people seem to try and hype him up to try and get a nomination. It just didn't happen. So I don't know if it will be the same this year. I do think Coleman Domingo is slightly stronger. If we are looking at the two, he's a slightly bigger name. And yeah, he will already have momentum. It doesn't have to be acclaimed from just this film. He will already have that with Rustin. So like you could argue Coleman Domingo, like it's unlikely that he gets 2. Like it's happened in the past, obviously. It is still an unlikely occurrence actors to get in for 2 films. So I do think that those are both things against both of them. Corey Hawkins, not as big a name, Coleman Domingo, as I just mentioned, but they could happen, especially if Color Purple is this really big pitch contender, which we expect it to be.
Yeah, I mean, and like, so yeah, I mean, he's gotten like SAG Critics' Choice nominations for Straight Outta Compton, and then also like Black Klansman, like they were all like ensemble nominations. So like, I don't think he's ever gotten like an individual nom, but like he's been in and around the awards scene with those types of films. Coleman Domingo, obviously very well respected. I believe he just won an Emmy. So like we'll see what happens with both of them, but there are definitely knocks against them to the point where I couldn't put them in over De Niro.
Agreed.
Number 8.
Yeah, here we go. The hype train begins.
It's Ben Affleck and Air. Hey everyone, so this was recorded like 2 weeks ago, and we have since seen Air. I really don't think that this is gonna happen, guys. Like It's Viola at max. Okay, it's Viola at max. But like even then, I think it's like a random Sager Globe nomination. I really don't think that this movie is going to stick around. It doesn't make sense. I don't think it's going to do well at the box office. When was the last time a spring release that didn't get amazing like critic reviews? Because it's like a 75 on Metacritic. It's lower than Top Gun. Okay, when was the last time something that didn't get like amazing Metacritic reviews or crush at the box office? All right, I'm scared that this won't even make its $90 million budget back. Number 9, we got somebody from Poor Things. You got Willem Dafoe, Rami Youssef, and Mark Ruffalo. I've heard that Rami Youssef is potentially the biggest one. Mark Ruffalo, I think, is probably the least likely of this bunch. Willem Dafoe seems like a kind of insane performance. We'll see what
Yeah,
he
it feels like the
does with
sort of
it.
Mark Rylance in Bones and all type of thing where
Yeah,
people were really passionate about, people wanted to happen, but it's just not to the Oscars' taste, really. So I do
right.
agree. I do think Rami Youssef is the most likely. And you look at this year at the Oscars, 16 of the actors were first time
First time.
nominees. And a lot of them we've got in currently are like not first time nominees. So potentially there are some more of them. So Rami Youssef might be one of them that sort of fits that trend.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like again, if we think that this movie is happening for picture, it could get something here. As of now, we only have Stone for acting, but like it definitely isn't impossible that this picks up a supporting actor nomination. I mean, The
No.
Favorite got 2 supporting noms, so
Yeah.
it's definitely within the realm of possibility. I'm just not sure which one, and I think we'll have to wait for reviews to see how strong of a role it is and which one it is, etc.
Agreed. Agreed.
Number 10, we got Brian Tyree Henry for Flint Strong. So we talked about this a little bit before. It is a Olympics biographical sports drama about a boxer. And it's going to be this big crowd pleasing sports biopic. It's being written by Barry Jenkins, which is pretty fascinating. Hopefully, brings something really good to this film.
Yeah.
And Brian Tyree Henry, he's playing the coach role. These are good.
There's
These are good.
potential. There's potential. I think my only worry is he would have got in last year. He was the number 5, pretty undoubtedly. And I think if he was to get in for this role again, he would be the number 5. And the question is, okay, can he do that 2 years in a row? There's nothing theoretically stopping him. I just think they're more likely to, if you're looking at a ballot and you want to go for a slightly more subdued performance, yeah, a slightly more like less known one, you'd go for someone like Jeremy Allen White rather than Brian Tyree Henry, who you already recognised for a more subdued performance last year. So I don't know. I do think that is a barrier to his performance. But if the film is stronger than I'm expecting, then it's a good role. He's a very good actor.
We'll just see what MGM does with it, though. We'll see how MGM handles it because they like kind of have a lot on their plate right now. Between like challengers and this, and then like
they also did very bad with supporting performances last year. So
yeah. I mean,
there was plenty there for them, and they squandered it.
Yeah. So we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. Number 11, we got Jonathan Pryce in One Life. This is this British Schindler's List thing. It's about the Holocaust and Nazi Germany. I feel like we've seen this movie before, but it's Jonathan Pryce, and like he got in for The Two Popes, and this seems like the most baity role in this category's week. But I really don't have that many things to say about this.
No, agreed. Once you get past a certain point, and that's what we're saying, this category is weak. There are not many people. I mean, I'm sure it won't be by the end of the year. I'm sure we'll be saying a lot of different things, but that's because we just don't know who these ones are really going to be yet. I don't see Jonathan Pryce really being a thing, but he's an established actor in what sounds like a pretty baity role, in what sounds like a pretty baity film, so I guess why
maybe. Yeah. Number 12, we have somebody from Dumb Money, whether that be Paul Dano, Sebastian Stan, Seth Rogen, or Pete Davidson. Who knows? But somebody from this film, if this film hits big, Thomas and I were having a conversation about it earlier, like it's Craig Gillespie. This could be like The Big Short type of thing where it's just this like bang, 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 high energy, like, movie about money and trading and stock, but it could also just be seen as the Reddit movie. So like,
who knows? Even The Big Short again. Do we need this? So there are a lot of areas where this film could fail. I think if one of them does get in, it's Paul Dano. Pretty evidently, like he's been the closest. I'd like Sebastian Stan. I guess would be the number 2. Seth Rogen. He could have got buzz for the Famous. Didn't happen. Pete Davidson, a bit too divisive of a figure. I don't see him really happening. So I do think Paul Dano would be the one, but I don't know how big this
Who knows?
film will actually play.
Yeah. 13, we have Charles Melton in May, December. This could be an interesting role. So, as we've said before, Natalie Portman, she's playing this woman who's researching about like this like tabloid romance and the potential crimes going on between Julianne Moore and her husband Charles Melton. And she's researching about them because she's going to be playing Julianne Moore in a film or TV show or whatever. Charles Melton, it just depends on if he has a scene, if he has a moment. It feels like it's very much going to be Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore just doing this, like, constantly one-upping each other with their performances. But if he's in the movie enough and he has his moments and this movie is big, I could see him picking up buzz, but not too confident.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is he's not an established name in a cast of established actors. So, like, I mean, he's known, but not to the same extent as Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore. So I just don't know if he'll be able to get the buzz.
I think he'll just get overshadowed a bit.
Pretty much that's my thought process behind why he's a bit lower, but he still deserves a mention, I guess, just in case May December is a really big thing at the Oscars.
Yeah. So the number 14, we got Austin Butler for The Bike Riders. So we had him, I believe, in the honorable mentions for lead. But like, I could also see him going supporting. If Tom Hardy is the clear lead, then he could easily drop into a supporting role. And he's here because the category is weak. I don't think he's going to be getting a nomination for the second year in a row, but I think it's more likely that he'd get one in supporting actor. If The Bike Riders plays really well, who knows? Their reactions have been good, but not great. So we'll see, but he's here.
Yes, he is here. I mean, I mentioned this when we talked about him lead. He was very on the award circle. Like, people, he was in everyone's faces. Therefore, I don't know if they'll want to do him again. They'll want to take a year off from doing Austin Butler, is my thought process.
Yeah. All right, so number 15 is Samuel L. Jackson in The Piano Lesson. I don't know if this movie's coming out or not, which is why he's kind of low. But it is based on a play by August Wilson, who wrote Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and Fences. So it's another Netflix thing, adaptation of one of those plays. Samuel Jackson is reprising his role from the play alongside John David Washington. It's just, there's like this piano that's a fairly heirloom, and then they're talking about it in this house, and then it's kind of like Fences, and then they got to figure out how to move on, and it's basically what you'd expect from that. But apparently Samuel Jackson, he's very good. He cries a bit, all of the things, and he's Samuel L. Jackson. So if they want to give him one last hurrah, one last nomination, I could see there being a narrative forming around let's give Samuel Jackson one more, especially if he is very good in this. Could be a very Beatty performance in a stage play adaptation. We'll see though. We'll see how hard Netflix wants to push it.
I mean, importantly, the two that you mentioned, Fences, Ma Rainey, they did get acting nominations, so there is potential there. I'm just less confident. I'm just less confident that this comes out than I am about, say, Blitz. Like, I'm more confident Blitz comes out than this even, and so it's impossible to do it even higher than this because we just don't know, and we don't want to be burned again by predicting things that don't end up coming out. So
absolutely. All right, time to move on to Best Supporting Actress. Number 1, we got Lily Gladstone, Thomas's mom.
Slash sister. Slash who knows?
Wait, hold up. Pause.
How old is she?
What are we? Well, I don't know.
She isn't that old, surely.
I mean, that was just a very strange sentence.
Yeah, what? Mother or sister. Mother/sister. Same person. Who knows?
That was the problem. She's 36. She's 36.
Okay, she's closer in age to my mum than my sister.
Yeah.
This is a very strange conversation. Let's just say she's my cousin and leave it at that. Or does that not make it better?
There's no good way to end this. This is all staying.
She is my grandmother.
That's really bad.
That's the way we end it. Okay, cool. Whatever. She is of no relation to me. I don't.
Wow, thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, family probably colonized her like native family.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Maybe true. My great was a slave trader, so potentially. There's dodgy family history in the Gladstone family, but do also have a prime minister, so swings and roundabouts. Didn't think we'd be getting so deep into my family history on a episode of really early Oscar predictions, but there you go.
That is all staying in. Anyways, Lily Gladstone, potentially could be the first Native woman to win an acting Oscar. I believe Native actor in general, but I know for sure Native woman. And she's in a Scorsese movie. She's gonna have the
Yeah.
narrative. Apparently, she's really, really good. I've read part of the book, and her role is really, really good. Like it has everything you want. Like big movie, meaty role, big narrative. Like it's the acting category I feel the most confident about.
Agreed. Probably in terms of winner, yeah. I just think this
Yeah.
just makes sense. And if you're going to honor Killers somewhere, we don't have a winning director screenplay, but there could be. Okay, we want to give Killers something. Obviously, it hasn't
Yeah.
really paid off last year because they just went, oh, fuck most of the films in Best Picture. We're just going to do everything everywhere.
Well,
But
Michelle Williams would have won if she was in supporting and she campaigned all
agreed,
year, probably.
agreed. So potentially, yeah. I just think this makes sense. And out of all of the acting, yeah, I
And
feel
it's not like we're
fairly
gonna have it
confident.
like that we know of yet. There isn't a dominant force like Everything Everywhere that just snatches
No,
everything up.
no.
So
And I
yeah.
doubt there will be.
Yeah. So, anyways, Lily Gladstone number 1, and Thomas's family are evil people. Number 2, number 2, Julianne Moore in May December.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
we
we
already
talked
talked
about
about this
Natalie
movie.
Portman, so why
We
not
talked about
Julianne Moore
Charles
as
Melton.
well?
Yeah, it's the same type of thing. It's going to be a very, very meaty role. Julianne Moore really hasn't been in many Oscars things since what? Still Alice? Like, was that really the last
Yeah,
one?
yeah,
Because
because
like,
she's
I mean,
not been in very good things.
the
So,
past couple of years, she was in like a Dear Evan Hansen and The
yeah,
Woman in the Window. So like,
God, yeah,
it'll be fun to see her return in like a good role. And Todd Field knows how. Todd Field.
Todd Haynes.
We've been
Come
doing
on,
this for too long. Okay.
get your Todd right.
I know, I just got my Todds. So Todd Phillips. Todd Haynes knows how to direct his actresses. He got both in for Carol. I don't see why both wouldn't get in here.
Yeah, agreed.
Number 3, we have Danielle Brooks. So I will say we don't have Taraji P. Henson in our 5.
Yeah,
But we do have Danielle Brooks. I think one of them will happen. Maybe both.
maybe this
But
is where the double nom happened. Yeah,
but we wanted to spread the love a bit in supporting actress, so we only have one in, and we went for Danielle Brooks. Obviously, both got nominated in the original film,
yeah.
but Danielle Brooks, I think, is just slightly the stronger role, but I'm not that familiar. From what I've heard, Danielle Brooks is stronger.
Although looking at the previous track record of these sort of double potential noms and what the Oscars actually end up going for, probably they'll go for the weak performance. I mean, they went for Judd Hirsch over Paul Dano. They went for Kieran Hines over Jamie Dornan. They went for fucking Judi Dench over Katrina Balfe. So with these double noms, who actually really knows? They just sort of seem to do what they want.
Again, supporting categories are some of the hardest to do.
But yeah, I do agree. Someone from The Colour Purple in supporting actress will happen because both the original happened. So I find it hard to believe.
Or both
Could. Yeah, definitely.
But as of now,
Definitely
we're going with Danielle. Okay, number 4, we have Rosamund Pike in Saltburn. So this is an interesting one because like some people think she's lead. She's not. Barry Keoghan is the lead. And then it's about his like infatuation with Jacob Elordi's character. I don't know where Rosamund Pike fits in with this, but at the test screenings, I heard that she's great. I heard that she's like really, really great. So regardless of what her role is, I've heard good things. This nomination kind of makes sense. And the supporting categories, they aren't as strong right now, so I feel comfortable having this in. I could see it maybe not happening. Because we have Keoghan out right now, but like actor, I think is a bit stronger, so I don't know. But as of now, I'm fine with Rosamund being in.
Yeah, this was also sort of just backpedaling. Like we put Saltburn in picture, and then we had to sort of justify a bit. Like, could this just be screenplay and get into picture? Potentially, but nomination here would definitely help. So we sort of thought, yeah, this fits the role, cool, whatever. We'll have it in.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of along the same lines. Jodie Comer for The Bike Riders. I've heard that she's good. I've heard that she's actually like really, really good. I don't believe that she's gotten an Oscar nomination.
She should have done The Last Duel, but
for The Last Duel.
Apparently they didn't see that film.
Yeah, nobody saw that movie.
No.
Jodie Comer, obviously very well loved on the TV side with Killing Eve. So like we'll see. We'll see, but like again, I could see this being the movie's one nomination potentially.
I agree. Yeah,
picture.
Yeah, like potentially, I feel like she might be the most likely out of them. Like Tom Hardy, I guess, but lead actor is a harder category, and then Austin Butler.
Yeah,
we talked about previously in the video. So yeah, she makes the most sense out of anyone in Bike Riders get nominated, and I do think if we got it in picture, someone from Bike Riders should be nominated in acting. So why not come there?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so 6 is where we have Taraji P. Henson. for The
Yeah,
Color
we talked
Purple.
about earlier.
We already talked about this. Maybe we'll see. We'll see which one gets in, or both. Number 7,
Number
Viola
1.
Davis and Air. So we'll see. We'll leave Viola here for now at 7, but like, take everything we're saying with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You should already be having her in for SAG here.
Yeah,
I
if
don't
Air
even.
is going to hit anywhere, it will be SAG, and it will get Ben Affleck, and it will get Viola Davis, and it may even get Matt Damon, probably.
Yeah, that's going to be this movie's like feast. That's going to be its feeding ground, even if it doesn't hit anywhere else. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This and SAG and the Globes will be its two favorite places.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but she's getting great reviews. She's Viola Davis. If this movie hits as big as we think, God. Number 8, Carey Mulligan and Maestro. Before you stop, before you unsubscribe, before you click away. Okay, this role is going to get an insane amount of backlash.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Carey Mulligan is going to be playing a Latina woman. For those of you who don't know, Carey Mulligan is not a Latina woman.
No.
I don't understand why. Like, literally why.
Yeah, she should have stuck to Doctor Who, in my opinion. Honestly. Anyway, yeah, I agree. Backlash will be there. The film Maestro could just flop hard at the Oscars and be nothing outside of Bradley Cooper and makeup. I could see that. Equally, she could be the sort of Hong Chow pick if we are equating Maestro to The Whale, especially if Netflix, this is their top priority, which there is a lot of potential. We do currently think it is Netflix's top priority.
Yeah.
And Netflix are pretty decent at getting acting. I mean, Anna de Armas, Lord knows how they actually got that. So they can campaign acting. Potentially, it can just ignore the backlash.
I don't know. Like, I get the Anna argument, but like, it's just like she's gonna do a god awful accent.
I also think like Bradley Cooper will overshadow her. I feel like that is pretty.
Yeah.
Like he is going to be.
I've heard people say it's like debatable whether she's lead or supporting. I think they definitely push her supporting. I don't think they even want to try to much lead with this.
No.
I think they'll definitely try to push the supporting. Even though I guess she has like a pretty large role and like there's entire sequences of the film that are like entirely dedicated to her. But like,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the backlash will be too strong and the film will be too mixed.
Yeah, and like we look at last year, like why did she not get in for She Said? I guess you could argue the film with a whole didn't get enough support, but it was a pretty meaty role and she could have really got in. So I don't think she is really in the club.
I don't know if Maestro will get that much support. Like
exactly. I don't think she's really in the club as people may like to think.
I think she'll get her win eventually. Like I do think that Carey Mulligan will get her win eventually.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's for this. I don't even think she gets not. It was just we'll see. But based off what I'm hearing about the movie and what I already know is going to be like a miserable time on Twitter of people like defending this. Like it's like Jesus Christ, guys.
It's a choice. It's
an understatement. Number 9, we got Lashana Lynch for the untitled Bob Marley biopic. So this is really just hinging on, do we think that this will be big? We don't know yet. I'm waiting on reviews. Is this going to be Elvis or Bohemian Rhapsody, or is it going to be I Want to Dance with Somebody?
Yeah, like we talked about similar things with Kingsley Ben-Adir in lead. I do think he's more likely than Lashana Lynch. I think he comes first. Then potentially. I mean, I feel like she's on the edge of a nomination, Lashana Lynch. Like she's been around. She was in The Woman King. Obviously, she's known within the Academy, and I think it is pretty soon that she will get a nom. Potentially is for this one.
Yeah. I mean, she's been building a lot of career momentum. Like she's been in MCU projects, just in The Woman King. She was in Matilda the musical,
Rising Star type of thing. She's
I mean, No Time to Die. She was just in like she's doing a lot right now, and she's giving a lot of performances in a lot of really well liked films. And yeah, I think she has the career momentum. It's just a matter of if this film hits. But I think that she's somebody who people would be happy to give an Oscar nomination to. So it's just, again, a matter of if this film hits. If it does, I think she should be in for a decent shot at a nomination. So we'll see what happens with it. Because it would definitely be a coattail off of Kingsley Ben-Adir. But if that happens, no reason why she can't follow suit.
Yeah. And speaking of people who the Academy might want to give an Oscar nomination to.
Yeah, so we got Zendaya here for challengers. Again, it's debatable whether she's lead or supporting. We already talked about her in lead. I think it's possible that she goes in supporting because I think that, at least from what I've heard and what I know about the plot, and people I know have seen it, Mike Faced, very much the driving center of the film. And then the Zendaya is like debatable whether she's lead or supporting. It's very much on the line. I think if MGM's smart, they might want to put her supporting, since that would be potentially an easier category to get into.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely an easy one.
but
Yeah,
but we do have her quite low here just because
we're not
I
sure.
really don't
We're
know.
not
I
sure.
really don't know what category she's in. So we'll wait and to see what category Zendaya is in. But again, as long as Challengers is good, I think they'll want to give it a nomination.
Yeah, I think they do want to give her a nomination. Would it be for this one? Maybe. I don't know. Especially if there is a bit of category. Well, which category is she in? Because that doesn't usually bear well. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Viola Davis won for Fences, even though she was obviously lead. So
No, yeah,
Michelle Williams still got in. Like, I know Zendaya's not on that level yet, but like,
no.
I think she'll be fine. I think she'll be fine. It's just we have
We'll
to know
see.
what category she's in.
Yes,
Number
and we have to know what
11.
the film's like. Because the film might not be the biggest of things. But anyway.
Yeah. Number 11, we got America Ferrera for either Barbie or Dumb Money. So again, Dumb Money, if it's big, maybe could be a pretty fun role for her. And Barbie, apparently she has this like incredible monologue that brought the house down at test screenings. So it seems like she's gonna have a year. It could be the
Yeah.
Hong Chow type of pick. Where it's just like, oh, you had a really good year, we'll throw you a bone in supporting actress.
Potentially, I don't know if she's quite a big enough name for that to be the case. Like you look at, it was Colin Farrell, Hong Chow. They were the ones with the sort of year narrative. They are bigger names. I mean, Judd Hirsch really screwed up this because if Judd Hirsch just missed the nomination, we could have said, oh, Judd Hirsch, Bradley Cooper, these sorts of roles where they're big in one scene don't actually happen. But he did happen. I don't know how he happened. So we do have to now look at these roles where it's just maybe one scene, very small roles,
Barbie,
but they leave a big impact. If that's this in this film, there's potential there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's again just how big is Barbie going to be? That's a lot of the question with these supporting roles, because a lot of supporting roles come as coattail nominations. So it's really just a question of how confident are we are in the film or the leading actor. So we'll see. Number 12, Ingenue Ellis for either The Color Purple or The Nickel Boys. So The Nickel Boys, it's about this like really like horrendous like school that like did a bunch of very violent, heinous crimes towards a lot of like black children. And I think Ingenue Ellis is playing like either like a teacher or a wife. So she has like a pretty strong role. Lots of crying, lots of screaming and shouting. She's also in The Color Purple, which we're expecting to be a big picture thing. She has a smaller role than Daniel Brooks and Tracy Hansen, but it's still a role. And if she, leaves a big impact, who knows? She's in the club now after King Richard. Like I think that she's going to get another Oscar nomination. I don't think that was just a one-off. I mean, because she's been in around. I mean, she was in like The Help, and that was like 10 years ago. She's been in and around the Academy for a while. I could see her start to just like happen more often now. But we'll just have to see what film it's for. But she's in a lot because she was also in Cast, the new Ava DuVernay film. I believe is the lead. So like, I'm less confident in that movie as a whole. But she's doing a lot this year. And
I think she is more likely for the sort of career, or not career, year narrative sort of thing. Which one would I say she's more likely? Probably, weirdly, even though I think her role will be better in The Nickel Boys, I'd say she's maybe more likely in The Color Purple. I just think if that's the one in pitch,
just picking up like a coattail
on everyone's minds exactly, then she might just come along with that rather than perhaps a role she might be more quote unquote deserving for. Obviously, we haven't seen the films, so we don't know which one she'd be more deserving for. But either way, I think she is. Yeah, there's a chance she gets a nom this year.
Absolutely. Number 13, we got Divine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers. So again, I heard good things about this performance from test screenings. It's a very meaty, baity role. She's, it's this heartwarming Hallmark movie. About this, these group of people and their students coming back home for Christmas while the Vietnam War is going on. It's again white people in the 60s and 70s being upset about the happenings of the world. And like I guess her son went over to Vietnam and she's screaming and crying and shouting about it. And those movies that that genre of white people in the 60s and 70s being upset about the world hasn't been as strong. Hasn't been that strong. I mean, so like I feel like again it peaked at Green Book, and then we tried to get it back a little bit with Trial of Chicago 7, and I feel like it's kind of dead now. So I'm not confident in this film.
Yeah, this feels snubbable, even if The Holdovers is a slightly big deal. I think it might just be The Holdovers in picture plus Giamatti plus then maybe screenplay. I feel like that's a sort of package. Even if it's a big film,
it should be if it was like a top 5 contender. I feel
exactly. This is if it's a really big film, then there is potential there, especially if the role is as meaty as people seem to think it will be. But I don't know, not a big name. there's potential that gets snubbed anyway.
Yep.
Even if it is a bigger
Absolutely.
film.
Absolutely. Number 14, we have Otter McDonald for Rustin. We initially heard bigger things about this, but after hearing more things about the film, it seems like it's just really focused on Coleman Domingo, and not a lot of the supporting performances are as huge. But we'll see what happens. Again, if Rustin ends up being a picture thing, I could see Otter McDonald coming along for the ride.
Exactly.
As of now, we don't think it's that, and we think it's just Domingo. But she's here. She's here. Again, we're getting into the weaker part of this list now.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like once you get to this point, you're looking for options, really. There are not many, they're just presenting themselves to you. So,
speaking of Jodie Foster and Naiad,
this is the only place we've mentioned Naiad. Not really Naiad.
We had Annette Bening in our.
Did we actually have her in?
Yeah, we had her in.
Yeah, I guess we did.
That can happen, and that Bening can happen. This would be like if Naiad ended up being like a Best Picture movie or something, like Jodie Foster could come along. As of now, I think it's Annette Bening or bust, but we'll
probably. But I mean, who else? Like Emma Blunt in Oppenheimer. I don't see that. So Tilda Swinton again, no. It's like you're scratching the bottom of the barrel, but yeah.
Lily James for
Lily James potentially, but Jodie Foster was a bit more likely, just in case Naiad is a slightly big deal. I think the Iron Claw, if it's going to be a thing at all, it will be a very small nom in supporting actor for Jeremy Allen White. So
absolutely. But those are our top 15 contenders for Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't seen them yet, you can check out our video for Best Picture and our video for the 2 lead acting categories, actor and actress. But we'll give a winner for the text, directing, and writing. That will be the last of these 4 early prediction videos. And then on to Cannes coverage. And then
straight back into
we'll probably do Oscars prediction updates, probably post Cannes and early. But for now, thank you everybody for watching. You can check out all of our links in the description to our other social medias. And check out the other videos. You can follow along, subscribe for more stuff, and yeah, that's it. Anyways, thank you for watching, everybody. Stay safe. Goodbye.